Hello everyone! In this video, we are going to talk about word problems involving linear equations in one variable, specifically investment problems. Okay, so, in solving investment problems, we have to determine first the formula that we use to determine the interest of any investment. Now, the formula for an annual simple interest that an investment earns is given by the equation I equals PRT, where I is the simple interest, P is the principal amount or the amount invested, and R is the simple interest rate. Okay. Now, how do we solve investment problems? First, we write a numerical or algebraic expression from the principal amount, interest rate, and interest earned. And then, we need to relate or determine the relationship between the interest earned on each amount. Okay? That is what we do to write our working equation and then solve for the problem. Let's have an example. Jane invested a portion of $150,000 in a 7% annual simple interest account and the remainder in a 6.5 annual simple interest government bond. The two investments earn 10,200 pesos in interest annually. How much was invested in each account? So first, we represent all of the given. According to the question, Jane has two investments. One is for a simple interest account in or with 7% interest, and the other is in a government bond with 6.5% interest. So, in our table, ilalagay natin yung principal amount, which is the amount that is invested by the person in the question, and then the rate for the specific investment and the interest that will be earned based on the formula I equal PRT. Okay. So, dalawang investment niya. Una, 7% na investment in an account and then the other is government bond. Okay. So, hindi sinabi kung magkano yung investment niya. Yun ang gagamitan natin ng representation or ng variable. So, let us represent the first one using X. According to the question, so 150,000 yung total na investment niya. So if the first investment is X, then the other one is 150,000 minus X. Okay? For the first one, the rate is 7%. For the second one, it's 6.5. So ngayon, yung interest, PRT, dahil yung P natin is X, okay, so X times the rate. So, time is 1 year. So, 1 na lang din yun. No need to write. So, ano lang. Interest equals P times R, the rate. We multiply the principal and the rate. 7% in terms of decimal is 0.07. That is 0.07x. And then the other one is 0.65 times quantity, 150,000 minus x. Yun yung representation natin. According to the question, the two investments earn 10,200 in interest annually. Dun sa table natin, meron tayong assigned column for interest. So, yun lang yung gagamitin natin kasi yun yung binabanggit sa question. So, we add the two interests, 0.07x plus 0.65 times quantity 150,000 minus x, and that is equal to 10,200. That will be our working equation. We now solve. Okay, distribute yung 0.65 and then yung x sa x and sa 150,000, and then combine like terms. So we have 0.005x on one side and 450 on the other side. Divide both sides by 0.005. Answer is 90,000. 90,000 is the principal amount of the account invested at 7%, And the other one is 150,000 minus 90,000, which is 60,000. Yun. To answer the question, Jane invested 90,000. Make sure to write the complete unit, peso. Kasi peso yung nasa given. In the annual simple interest account at 7% and 60,000 pesos in government bond. Sige, let's have another example. Lana invested an amount at 12% and twice as much as 9%. Her annual interest is 9%, at 9%, is 10,000, 260,000 more than her annual interest at 12%. How much is invested in each rate? Okay. Gawa natin ng table and let us represent yung principal amount, rate, and interest. There are two investment made by Lana. One is 12%, the other one is 9%. According to the question, kasi walang binigay na total amount of her investment. Ang binanggit lang, she invested an amount and twice of that amount she invested at the other percent or yung rate. I-represent natin yung unang investment niya using a variable. So, let's use X. And then, twice as much dun sa 9%, that is 2X. Okay? Her annual interest at 9% is 10,600 more than the other. So, yun ang gagamitin natin sa paggawa ng working equation. Determine muna natin yung interest dito. Yung rate, 12% do sa una, 9% sa pangalawa. Interest is 0.12x for the first one, and for the second one, 0.09 times quantity, 2x. Okay, balikan natin yung tanong. Annual interest at 9% is 10,260 more than her annual interest at 12%. So, yung annual interest niya sa 9%, which is 0.09 times quantity 2x, is equal to yung interest niya sa 12%, so 0.12x, plus 10,260. Kasi, more than the interest at 12. Yung nasa 9%. So, mas malaki yung interest niya sa 9%. Okay? How much is invested in each rate? Let us now solve for the variable. Solving for x, we have 171,000. Yun yung invested at 12%. And yung invested sa 9% is 342,000 pesos. Okay, so sorry na putol. Ayusin natin para yung ating pagsulat ng amount ay tama. Yan, baba ko lang to. So, ang amount ay 171,000 at 12% interest rate and 342,000 pesos at 9% interest rate. Let's have another problem. Mark invested 10,000 pesos more in bonds, earning 6% than in stocks that earn 8%. Annual income is 800 more than the income from the bonds. Okay. How much did Mark invest in both? Gawa natin ng table. Ganun ulit. Principal amount, rate, interest. Yung una, bonds. O yung stocks. Sige, yung stocks pala kasi ang nakalagay ay 10%, 10,000 more in bonds than in stocks. So, yung stock yung gamitan natin ng variable. So, yung stocks ay X, yung bonds ay 10,000 more. The X plus 10,000. Yung rate ng stocks, 8%. Okay? And yung rate ng bonds, 6%. Yung interest niya ay 0.08x and 0.06 times quantity x plus 10,000 dun sa bonds. Okay, balikan natin. Annual income for the stocks was 800 more than the income from the bonds. Yung interest, yung income daw sa stocks 0.08 equal to yung interest doon sa bonds plus 800 kasi mas madami daw yung nasa stocks by 800. Okay, how much did he invested in both? Let us solve for the variable. X is 70,000. So, sa stocks daw, ang in-invest niya is 70,000 and in bonds, 80,000. Okay, so yung in solving problems related to investment, importante yung paggawa ng table. Kasi doon nyo i-compare yung rate na ibinigay. Solve nyo na din yung interest using the formula. Interest is equal to principal times the rate. Kasi lahat naman ng binibigay dito ay annual. So, once a year lang. Kasi nga simple interest questions lang ito. So, annually. Kung hindi naman annually, for a specific period of time, kung ilan yung ibinigay. And yun din naman yung itatanong sa question. Okay? So, after writing a table relating all the investment and the interest earned, gawan nyo ng working equation based on the description in the question. And then after done, solve for the variable and then go back to your representation to determine kung ano yung na-solve doon and use that to answer the question. Kung hindi kayo sure dun sa na-solve nyo, you can always go back to the question and check. O kagaya nito, based on the question, 10,000 pesos more daw yung sa bonds. So, na-compute natin, 70,000 yung stocks, 80,000 yung bonds. E di na-satisfy naman. The bonds is 10,000 more. Okay. So, pwede nyo rin namang i-check kung talagang yung annual income dun sa isa is 800 more than from the bonds. Pwede nyong i-substitute to check whether tama yung answer natin o hindi. Okay? So, that's the end of our discussion. Thank you for watching. Bye!